Okay, this is it. Your last attendance post for this class and week 9 heading at you. So, based on the review of your work from week 8, where you added the favicon, and on Tuesday night, on Monday night, you actually added your menus and some of your subpages, you all are in good position for Dev 0. Project 0. And I will talk about that in a minute. Just some of the things I just want you to know. And I think I saw at least 2 or 3 examples. And some of you have already fixed this issue, but if you haven't, I want you to know about it. So hang in there for that discussion. So next week on Monday, we have a kind of normal due date, right? We have, and this content that I found for getting your first web development job is a guy I've found who I felt like was really giving good content around this. Its focus is a little more Python, or actually it's C sharp. But the important thing is just thinking about that first development job, right? How do you get it? How to position yourself? How do you get your portfolio, right? How do you get that ready? One thing I would encourage you to do is continue to learn. I think some of you are in my Python class. Some of you might be in my I don't think I have anybody in my JavaScript class, but those are 2 classes I think definitely I would ask you to consider. I think they're good to help you if you've never done coding, do that, get that experience. So I'll just do a shameless plug. I don't teach this summer. I teach in the fall, and I'll have JavaScript, Python, this class, which you won't need, and web computer concepts. So the other thing is thinking about your strategies, and really this is just kind of another opportunity to give you points for working on your project 0, but also talking about where are you going to get that content. I think most of you that I've seen are doing a site about yourselves or something you're interested in. So that content should be relatively either written or gleaned somewhere. Do remember you have to write that index page yourself. Make sure that all the content on your site is linked. Make sure there's no broken links. If there's content that was left over from template, make sure you get rid of that. So what I do is when I grade it, I go through and make sure everything is there, everything is working, and there are no content that hasn't been updated. Again, if you're not going to use that content, then make sure you get rid of it. But everything should have a menu, a footer, and images. Okay. And this is something that I have seen happen. Make sure each page has a unique title, and that's up in the HTML. If I get a chance when I do the last one, I'll talk about that. But you can also, and I actually saw somebody from this class this week in my office hours, so that was great. So on our current topics, machine learning, I am going to be a year from now teaching for the second time machine learning, and I just really believe there's a major impact, and I've experienced the impact that we're already seeing on the mobile devices, like on my Google device when I'm asking the Google Assistant something. That now is a machine learning model that's loaded on my local device. And there's so many different ways. That's just one example of ways that we're going to implement machine learning and use it to do things that we can and things we really can't imagine in the future. Okay, so that's Monday night. Tuesday night, I let you choose your own lecture. Like, what are you interested? But really keep it in the context of here's what I would say. We've been exposed to a lot of different content in this course. What's something you wanted to learn more about, right? So go find 30 minutes of content. Make sure in your notes you give me a link to the video that you are consuming so I can check it out. And then, of course, the Project 0, right? So the thing that's due on the 11th, that Thursday night. And I've had a couple of we've had a couple of discussions around this for you to ask a question. So hopefully by now you have a good understanding of this, right? And again, I don't think anybody has chosen to do the course content, which is totally fine, right? Each topic becomes a page on your site. And that's something I did talk to, I think, one person about. So make sure that when you're linking to a page, a new page that's a new, of your 21 pages, it has to be a separate page. Making sure that that page has, right, a unique title. So what's a unique title? So see up here at the top, right? These are titles in the HTML, and I'll show you where it's at in a minute. And you want to make sure each page has a unique title. So if I flip over to my editor and I scroll up to the top, right here is that title that shows up when you run that. So what you want to do is make sure when you're looking at the site that each of those pages has a uniqueness that really indicates what the content, the topic of that page is. Okay. Okay. So something else I want to talk about real quick. So let's see, I did that. I did that. I talked about that. So hopefully you're good to go. But again, reach out if you want to ask me any questions. It's only the content index page. You have to write 200 original words. Everything else needs a minimum of 75 words for each of your menu pages. Okay. Okay. Of course, you have to push it to GitHub. So one thing I saw this morning is, and I think I can just show you here, but we could also show you an example. When you're creating links, like here is the code for mine that is a div. It's got a link to the sub pages. This is really the menu. So what you want here is you only want to have the link be relative. And what that means is when you're running it locally or you're running it on the GitHub IO site, right? It's relative to wherever that file is located. It's not an absolute reference. So it should just look like this: ref, open quotes, the name of the page, quote, and then end of bracket here. And this is what I'm talking about. What I've seen a couple of folks do is actually have in the link their actual site. And that you do not want to do. And why do you not want to do that? Well, it's not the standard. Oh, it's actually github.git. See, I can't even do it right because it's just not right. You don't want that, okay? And the reason you don't want that is that that's absolute. And therefore, what would happen is it wouldn't work on my local site, well, my local dev environment, right? So when I'm running it locally here, if I was to say, and actually this is the index page, the home page. So I'd have to go over to, let's see, where is my home page work? I got to find out where that one was. Let me just look real quick. That was life. That was the first one. So if I go into here, and then in here, right, this was the one I did on the house. Oh, this was actually a subpage. That's why this one didn't make sense. If I went into here and went into house, right, and then I looked at life, actually you can see it down here. I'm going to click down here. You can see it down here, as that is going to be linked to my GitHub IO. So what would happen is it wouldn't pull up the page on my local site, and that's just not the way you want that to happen, okay? So don't do this, right? It should only be, and one person had it like this. Now, why don't you want it like this? This will also break it. The reason is whenever you do a /, what it does is it looks for the root of wherever you're serving out of. Like right now, if I was serving files out of a subdirectory right here, it would look at the root of that directory. And when you're in the GitHub IO site, same thing. You don't want that / in there. Now it may work, but it's just good practice you don't. So your links anywhere to different pages really should just be a ref equal open quote, the name of the file name .html. And these should be lowercase names, no spaces in here. That should be your standard when you're doing this. Okay. Okay. So that's that part. So back to here, right? The thing I want to just talk about in the end here is just the timing of things, right? So you are now coming into week 9. This is due Thursday night. So if you want me to review your site before Thursday, turn it in by Thursday morning, right? Because I'll do one because I look at grading. I grade every morning. So when I get up Monday morning, I grade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I won't grade again until Friday. So if you have something in there that you needed to fix that you got points off, you know, you have a chance if you submit that early. So the other thing is here, and I want to be clear about this. So hopefully on your reply, of course, I would want you to understand all the information I've covered, and specifically this one is like, also, I do accept late work, but the last time I accept late work is that due date for project zero, which is really at midnight. But hopefully, it's me the next morning getting up. I do get up pretty early. I go work out. I come back. I start grading. So if you have work that you've missed, right, or that you got a low grade on and you wanted to fix, and even though it's still subject to late grade, it would be better than the grade that you got. If you want to know about any of that, reach out and talk to me. But I want you to know, if you have any work that you want to submit late, that's also the due date, is your project zero, really your Thursday night, last night of this class. Okay. And then the attendance that I'm doing right now will not be closed on Friday. It'll be closed on Thursday, Friday morning, so that I can get all the documents ready to submit to the campus. Okay. The last thing I want to say to you is thank you very much. Without you, I have no job, and I try to honor your time and your efforts and try to give you relevant skills that I think will help you move your skill set forward. I may have not every time hit that, but I hope on par I did. But I really appreciate your feedback. You could do that here. You could do that to me directly. You could do that on Rate Your Professor. Your feedback is helpful to me. It has past students, their feedback has molded the way this class and all my classes run, because I really do like to hear, and where we can agree that something could be better, I do work on that. Because thank you. I really want to thank you for taking this class. I enjoy teaching. I hope it seems like you enjoy learning. And really, honestly, we're all in an industry where we're constantly having to learn. So upping your skill and moving it forward as much as you can on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis is just what we're called to do. I have not stopped learning. I learn something new every day, it feels like. Maybe every week. No, every day, something. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this and have a good rest of your semester. I will be taking the Discord channel just for us out. You still means you will be on Discord. Please hang out, because I also talk about other classes and other events. I post jobs out there. So please consider hanging out on our Discord. All right. Peace out. Have a good one. Bye.